What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card to use and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and it is a phenomenal Tuesday, July 25th, 2023 day. We are absolutely positively in the building. Everything is going absolutely awesome. Island Girl Q killed it last night. Shout out to Q. Can we get a special applause for Q? Can we get a special back to back? I'm so proud of her. I'm genuinely proud of her because the things that I see in her, the things that I see in my people is much different than the things that other people see in them. And to see how they continue to grow and evolve and become one of the greatest people that I've ever seen them become, and they've only hit the tip of the iceberg. Q is incredible. Quentin is incredible. Everybody that she recruits is incredible. Her ability to do the thing. Y'all don't see the work and the things that she does behind the scenes that then manifest and show itself over a period of time and the growth. Y'all have no clue. You don't see the level of work that she put in. You don't see the grind and the hustle and the fact that I don't have to micromanage her, and I don't ever, the only thing I do is give her whatever it is that they need in order to be successful. Q, Quentin, shout out to my dog Logic. Nobody can fuck with us. We the A team. We've been the A team for a long time. We the A team. We've been the A. For everybody that ever doubted, keep doing that shit. Y'all been doing that shit since we was born. We the A team, man. Listen, it's only going up. I've warned y'all. I warned y'all. You know what? I'm not warning nobody. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch and see what happens. It's gonna be incredible. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to all of my people. I want to acknowledge all of my truckers because we got a special show that I need to address y'all today. Bring y'all to the front of the congregation. We're going to bring Carlee Russell back to the front of the congregation. We want to talk about the caping on the Breakfast Club. We want to bring our women to the front of the congregation, talking about Gillie and the funeral, what's going on in Philadelphia, the violence that's going on. We also got a police Dade County Police director that decided that he want to off himself because he got into a conversation with his wife. So we got a lot of things going. So this is by far the greatest morning show on earth. I encourage you guys to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. I dropped a video inside of the Patreon last night, dropping a video on the Patreon today. We also doing a live stream, so all of that information is going to be released. I'm uploading a video into the Patreon right now, so it's absolutely positively up. It's up all the way across the board. Let me give an early acknowledgement. Before we get started, y'all know how we do it. I need y'all to do me one favor, and it's not necessarily hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Before we get started, I need y'all to let me know, how are you feeling this morning? Are you feeling excited? Are you antsy? One word in the chat to describe exactly how you feeling. Are you tired? Are you fatigued? Let everybody in the chat let me know. Are you scared? I see amazing. Shout out to Dwight Bell for the building fund. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. The Wealth Building Journey says they feel good. Greg says great, hopeful, unsure, all right, motivated, blessed, hopeful, great, good, nothing, awesome, phenomenal, eager, determined, fantastic, tired, antsy, smooth, motivated, optimistic, curious, new, elated, productive, great. Q says she need a vacation. You just came off. No more vacations for Q for a while. Amazing, blessed, fantastic, good, up, stuck, ready, phenomenal. I'm gonna need you to spell phenomenal with a PH, not an F. Excellent, hungry, blessed, optimistic, humble, tired, sleep. Aaron is always sleeping and drinking water. Drunk. Shout out to Jake Fever. Oh my God. Godlike. All right, I hear you. Rich, energetic, running up the check. Disappointed. What are you disappointed for? We woke up this morning. Every day, Aaron got all kind of stuff. He said frustrated, sleep, woke, moving. Heck no, I got a trip next month. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my Jesus. Focused, sexy. Yo, motivated, happy, and blessed. Good. Yo, every day that y'all wake up in the morning, do you know that it's another opportunity for you to do great things? Caffeinated, humble. Every day, Vanessa says she tired. Fantastic. C student spelling. Broke. Unsure. I hate y'all. And I love y'all all at the same time. Let me tell y'all something. Every day that you wake up in the morning, it is another opportunity for you to do great things. I don't give a fuck what happened yesterday. I don't care what it is that you think was done to you. I don't care who you was mad at. You know why the Bible says you need to fix everything before you go to sleep? Don't let the sun set on your wrath. You know why that is? Because the energy that you carry with you into the night ultimately is the thing that transfers over into you before you wake up in the morning. And so when I wake up, shout out to my dog, Fi Brown. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. When I wake up in the morning, no matter what happens yesterday, whether I won at the highest level or I lost and everything just went absolutely terrible, before I go to sleep, I leave all of that shit in yesterday, in the day that I'm going to sleep. I forgive everybody before I go to sleep. I pray to God and I ask for his blessings and continued blessings on my family. And then I ask him to let me learn from the lessons that I had that day and then don't let me carry it with me into the next day so that I have a fresh start. And that's why I'm so energetic every single morning. Every single morning when I wake up, I am fucking lit. Occasionally, I may be having like a down day because something happened that morning before I jump on the Millionaire Morning Show live stream. And so I'm dealing with whatever it is that I'm dealing with whatever problem that I got going on because I'm normal just like everybody else. But the reality is this. Every day, I'm energetic, I'm lit, I'm feeling great because I recognize the opportunity that's in front of me. I don't give a fuck about what happened yesterday. I celebrate it, I love it, but I am not dwelling on that. Man, I've had some incredibly bad days in June, but July has been fucking awesome. I've had some crazy days in June, but July has been in fucking incredible. And so I don't let anything slow me down from what it is that I got going on, because I recognize that every day is a new opportunity for me to do great things. So I just want to leave you with that, because a lot of us may be going through things. I got some people that I'm coaching that may be going through a few things. They may be winning in one aspect of their life, but they struggling in another aspect of their life. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Everything that you're going through, there's always another side to it. So there is a rainbow at the end of the road. And everything gets better over time. No matter how bad it seems at that particular time, everything gets better over time. Let me see what y'all talking about. Somebody said something happened to Bronnie James. Let me see what's happening to Bronnie James. Bronnie James. Oh, snaps. That can't be real. Is that true? All right, let me see what's happening. Let me pull this up. We're going to pivot. This is what we can do because we are we have the ability to be able to do that here on the Millionaire Morning Show. All right. Let me get this together real quick for y'all. Let me pull this together. Let me pull it together. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. We're going to discuss this really quickly. We're going to pivot. All right. All right. Give me a second. I hate when this type of stuff happens. I don't even like reporting on this, but this is what we do. This is the Millionaire Morning Show, so we gotta deal with it. We can't ignore it. So give me a second. Let me just get it together. Give me a second. Let me put it together. I don't like that. I got to make sure that the sources is credible and that everything that's being reported on is accurate and all of that, because I don't just like reporting on stuff without making sure that everything is what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and show this. Give me a second. Bam, 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 and bam, and bam. All right, let's dive into this whole Bronnie James situation really quickly. So LeBron James' son, Bronnie James, suffers a cardiac arrest at the USC practice. How old is he? 19? Is he 19? Man, that's not cool. All right, so let's deep dive through this really quickly. We're gonna look at it from a business perspective and from a logical perspective. Bronnie James suffered cardiac arrest while practicing. What does cardiac arrest really mean? I want to make sure that I know this. Cardiac arrest occurs when the heart suddenly and unexpectedly stops pumping. If this happened, blood stops flowing to the brain and other vital organs. Cardiac arrests are caused by certain types of arrhythmias that prevent the heart from pumping blood. Cardiac arrest is a medical emergency. Okay. So Bronnie James suffered cardiac arrest while practicing at USC on Monday. LeBron James confirmed the scare involving his son as he prepared his first season with the Trojans in a statement to TMZ. He says, Monday, while practicing, Bronnie James suffered a cardiac arrest. The family said medical staff was able to treat Bronnie and take him to the hospital. He's in stable condition, no longer in ICU. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family, and we will update media when there is more information. You know, the thing about it is, for me, damn. Because you know that okay, all right. Let me look at it from all angles and all perspectives before we really deep dive into it, okay? First things first about this LeBron James or Bronnie James cardiac arrest. First things first is I hate to see this type of thing happen to this young man because you don't ever want anything like this to happen to a young man. You don't want anything to happen like this to a young man. And we got to stop speculating. Some people saying that it's the jab. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. You can't automatically assume. You got to wait for more information to be able to come out before you can automatically say that is one thing or another. You can't automatically say that it's the jab. All right, let me read some more into it. Bronnie was rushed to the hospital after a 911 call was made at 9:26 in the morning from the Galen Center where USC practices. Bronnie, 18, was a 4-star recruit after starring at Sierra Canyon High School. As a parent, this is quite possibly one of your worst nightmares. The one benefit that he has is that he has a phenomenal parent and a phenomenal household that can make sure that he's taken care of. A lot of people take that for granted. That's one of the biggest things that I've struggled with, even when it comes to quitting my job. And it's like, even though I got the resources to make sure that, my family is taken care of for the rest of their life, and I got the money and the stuff like that, a lot of us really don't take into consideration healthcare coverage. Now, LeBron James is rich as fuck. Sister Camilla said this is common among jabbers. I don't believe that. I don't believe it right away. It might be common among jabbers, but I don't believe that that's necessarily his situation right away. It literally could be anything. Okay, so y'all think it's the jab? Y'all think automatically it's the jab. Y'all don't even know if he took the jab or not. You have no clue of whether or not he took the jab. And y'all automatically assuming that it's the jab. Sorry, this is breaking news. Why do y'all think it's the jab? Before we really get started with the show, why do y'all think it's the jab just right away? Why do we automatically assume that it's some government conspiracy? The jab is basically taking the vaccine that they was issuing during the pandemic. For those of you that's saying, what is the jab? Shaq's son went through it also. We don't know. It's normal for 18-year-olds. He's an athlete. LeBron James sold his soul. Okay. All right. I see we got how many put a one in the chat if you're a conspiracy theorist. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a conspiracy theorist. By default, put a 1 in the chat if you automatically assume the worst and you're a conspiracy theorist. And you know that these people have the best doctors on hand. They have the best doctors on hand. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a conspiracy theorist. I see Kiana, Slim, Criff, Live and Direct, Just Jab, Kojo, Brandon. Jesus. Y'all are conspiracy theorists for real? Come on, y'all. Y'all can't be this. Are y'all really this much of a conspiracy theorist? I don't believe it's the jab. I don't by default just believe that it's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Let me read some more of this and let's see what's happening. Bronnie, 18. So he's 18 years old, was a 4-star recruit. Let's continue. It says LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their work, incredible work and dedication, and to the safety of their athletes. Let me see if it's any other news stories out here that's addressing this. Let's see, the Los Angeles Times. Bronnie James suffers cardiac arrest and in a stable condition. Wish to publicly send their deepest thanks. Medical staff. This is the second time in the past year the USC medical staff has responded to a men's basketball player suffering cardiac arrest during practice. Center Vince Iwuchu collapsed at the practice last summer. Was revived by USC athletic trainers. He made a full recovery, returned to basketball court six months later. All right, so y'all just think by default, that this man went into cardiac arrest and everything that happens physically to somebody is because of the jab. Everything that happens physically to somebody, y'all said, I'm not woke enough. What is being woke enough? What is being woke enough? Do y'all automatically associate it to something that the government is doing? And you think that they will let his son suffer as a result of it? Y'all said y'all got tinfoil hats on? I don't believe it. But let me say this. Let me tell y'all how it comes back to the money for me and how I'm looking at it, right? The first thing that I would say is, this is why it's very important for you to have, and for children, in my opinion, to have a very, very stable household and to have phenomenal parents. They say, am I in denial because I took the jab? No, I don't have any problems. I just went and visited my heart doctor. I went and visited the urologist. I'm in the best health that I could ever be in my life. I'm working out every day. I'm feeling phenomenal. I don't have any kind of problem whatsoever. My wife don't have no problems. My daughter don't have no problems. We have no issues whatsoever. And we own whether or not we took it or not. Like, I don't have any issues with that. But here's the other side of it. First of all, it's two things. A, this is why it's so important for you to have a stable household. This is why it's so important for you to have a stable household. One of the things that I've always considered before ever even leaving this position is not necessarily whether or not the money is a big issue, but it's not the biggest issue. But the biggest things that I always consider is healthcare coverage, life insurance, all of those things. My wife keeps us at the fucking doctor on a regular basis. I will give her that. Rita keep us at the doctor. She have us going through all of the checkups and all of the different things. And so I was just thinking, hey, what is the additional cost that come along with that? I need to be able to keep my daughter on my benefits until she's 26 years old. It is very, very important. A lot of y'all want to go out on business on your own. Y'all want to start your own companies. And the interesting thing about that, a lot of the things that people don't consider is all of the additional things that come along with it, such as how much it's going to cost you in healthcare coverage. A lot of people do not consider that when they go out and start their own businesses. One of the benefits, I know a guy that started an insurance company, and his insurance company has been booming for a very, very long time. Thank you for the super chats. I'm going to be reading those shortly. I know a guy that owns an insurance company, and one of the things that he used to do was, and I met him actually when I was working at Rouge Steel, because he never worked overtime, and he always just did his 40 hours and he went home and he took the easiest job available. And one of the things that he used to do, we used to always ask him, hey man, why are you working here? Your business is doing well and all of this other type of stuff. And he said, oh, I'm just here for the healthcare coverage and the life insurance. He used to say he was there for the healthcare coverage and the life insurance. That's the only reason he kept the job. That's one of the few benefits that you have in corporate America or having a regular job over starting a business for yourself. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you can go and buy your own healthcare coverage, but it is very, very, very expensive. And so that is one of the benefits. The second thing, as it relates to this story, outside of the conspiracy theories until we find out more information, the second thing is, how does this affect his future draft prospects with having a cardiac arrest during a practice? And would other teams be willing to take a risk on him in the future, considering that he did have a cardiac arrest on the court? We got to look at that. The one benefit for him, though, is that he's not just a prospect. He's the son of LeBron James, meaning that LeBron James is going to be rich forever. As long as he don't fuck up like Marcus Jordan and go and get Larsa Pippen as a wife, he'll be fine. But he's very, very blessed to have a father that has been incredibly successful, has played a huge role in his life, and to also have a phenomenal mother that in Savannah James that, in my opinion, does not get enough credit and does not get enough visibility for how it is that we need to highlight how certain women should be within our society. So with that being said, again, this is breaking news. Prayers up for Bronnie James. Prayers up for LeBron James and his family, Savannah James, and everybody that's involved in that. Fuck that basketball shit. You got to take care of your health first. He's got money. He has security. He's blessed. And this is one of the things that we advocate for, because if you do not have a stable environment, if you are raising a child by yourself, it is very, very, very difficult to deal with the life events that happen, such as going into cardiac arrest at USC. So again, prayers up for him. I hope everything works out. I will be following this story. Thank you to everybody in the chat that made sure that you brought this up to my attention. I appreciate you guys, and we are going to go ahead and continue with the show. All right. So let me go ahead and pull that down really quickly. I'm going to read super chats. Oh my God. Getting ahead of ourselves. I'm going to be reading super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the show. Shout out to Mike, that dude on Cash App. I appreciate you holding me down. Also, Jeremy H says, M-Bape was offered $700 million to play for Saudi Arabia for just 1 year. No way. No fucking way. What? With an additional $330 million transfer fee, more black people need to play soccer. Are you sure about that? Hey, Jeremy H., send that to my email, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com, because I'm going to break that down tomorrow. If that's true, I'm switching my daughter over from taekwondo and golf over to soccer immediately. No fucking way. For 1 year? No way. Hey, send that to me in my email, and I'm going to go ahead and look at that. Levite Apparel says, time to get access to the bag. Facts. I appreciate you. Hey, send that to my email. I'm going to check that out. Kingdom Legacy says, would you do a collaboration with Media Man? Because Logic stated that all of the stats are you trigger stats. Media Man breaks stats and statistics down. I have no idea who Media Man is. I have no clue who Media Man is. Who is Media Man? That sounds like Meteor Man. Y'all ever seen that movie Meteor Man? I have no idea who Media Man is. Shout out to Media Man. I've never done a show with him. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. Send him to me in my email and I'll track him down, or I'll figure out what it is that he do. Shout out to Kingdom Legacy. Quentin says, the only heaven on earth can be found in a woman. Shout out to Quentin. I appreciate you. Kingdom Legacy said, also he cites the sources and good morning, everybody. Shout out to Kingdom Legacy early in the morning giving us those stats. Dwight Bell says, for our building fund. Shout out to Dwight Bell. I appreciate you. Fa Brown is in the building with the 20 ball. Says, yo, Anton, I'm so happy I graduated to becoming a bag chaser and traded the TBC for the Tims, for the TMMS. True victim Olympians over there. Absolutely no accountability ever. Glad I found my real tribe, like-minded people with y'all. Shout out to my dog, Fa Brown. I was chilling with Fa Brown over in NYC at the meetup. That's my dog. Appreciate you, big dog. Also, Miss Crow T Shetty is in the building, said thank you. Thank you to Miss Crow T Shetty. I appreciate you. I'm technically, Tim says, OG, we got to get you one of these tinfoil hats and a dose of red pill. The Matrix is a system. Neo. Hey, if anybody has a tinfoil hat that y'all can send to me in the mail, I will use it occasionally on the Millionaire Morning Show, and I will give you the credit for it. If anybody has a tinfoil hat, send it to me to the address that I have inside of the description of this video, and I will make sure I give you credit for it, and I will highlight it, and I might even put it on my merch on my new website that I got coming up. Shout out to my technically Tim in the building out there in Canada. OG Wiz says the problem is if there was real side effects of the jab, the medical establishment will not admit to it, so waiting for the actual cause is futile. Justified. I understand what you're saying. Purple Haze says they say on ESPN Mbappe will make more than LeBron's whole career. Shout out to you. Pretty Boy 79 says Medium Man is solid. You should collab. Send me his stuff inside of my email, and then I'll check it out. Thank you to all of the super chats. Let's continue on with the show. I appreciate y'all. First and foremost, before we get into Carlee Russell, The Breakfast Club, all of that other type of stuff, right? We got over 1,500 people in here. Make sure that y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. I dropped a video in there today. I'm dropping a Fleece Johnson video tomorrow. And we doing a live stream. We got a live stream coming up, so that's going to be absolutely awesome. In addition to that, make sure you get your Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. We appreciate you, Teach. Thank you for sponsoring the show. The funeral for Gillie's son was yesterday. The funeral for Gillie's son was yesterday. Rest in peace to Gillie's son. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into the show.
Family, friends, even strangers solemnly gathering at the Met today for a final goodbye to local rapper Devin Spady, also known as Young Cheese, gone way too soon. The 25-year-old, the son of popular podcaster and rapper Gillie King, well known himself for giving back to the Philly community. Young Cheese was gunned down last week in a triple shooting in Olney. Today was all about his life and how to keep his memory alive. Our Cheyenne Corinne has the details.
Yeah, so the Met was full of people remembering the life of Devin Spady, also known as Young Cheese. But you know, this service not only showed how much he was loved, but also how much support his entire family has.
Devin was always a life of the party, always wanting to bring the family together.
The community wrapping their arms around this family mourning.
That's a lot of people.
Devin Spady, better known as his rap name, Young Cheese.
When my life is over and all of y'all show up to my funeral, one thing I don't want y'all to do is lie on me. Don't say that Anton was I don't even want to say it. One thing I don't want y'all to listen. Don't say anything to the news about me that's just general. Don't say like, oh my God, he was a good person and he would have gave anybody anything and none of that other type of stuff. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that for me. Like, give some real shit. Like, learn me, understand me, appreciate me. Say, yo, when I first met Anton, I didn't like that motherfucker. He was saying some shit that really, really pissed me off. But over time, I grew to love him. And then I had a coaching call with him. He helped me get my fucking life together. And now my marriage is fixed. Say some real shit like that about me. Like, don't give the general stuff. Don't say Anton was the life of the party. He would have gave anybody anything. He was a good person. His heart was pure. Don't do that shit. Give me some real shit when you talk about me. Say like, yo, Anton was always the nigga that I would tap into on a Millionaire Morning Show if I knew that I was fucking up because I knew that he was going to give me that church meeting. Anton was the dude that was going to make sure that he streamed every day. And so, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like him sometimes, and he always cussed out the women, and he held men accountable, but shit, at least he stood on his square. I ain't never known Anton to put his dick in something that, you know what I'm saying, was for the streets. Like, say some shit like that. Don't be out here just caping. And if you never knew me, Don't say that you knew me. Don't come over here caping. A lot of you niggas be coming up here, yeah, man, I met him in real life. Nigga, you never showed up to a Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I was in a Patreon one time and then I went broke, so I never subscribed, but I meant to. No. If you're going to be a part of the Bag Chasers, jump into the Patreon right now. The Fleece Johnson interview is dropping tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? See, look at that. Sam the guy. Anton's hairline died before he died, is what I would say. That's fair. That is fucking fair. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Any of these hoes that want to act like Anton is out here fucking on you and all that shit, don't come out of the woodwork after I'm gone. Show yourself now so we can appreciate who you are and we can address you accordingly. Let me defend myself while I'm fucking alive. Give me my flowers while I'm here. Don't say that shit when I'm gone. When I'm gone, it's too late. If we got any hoes that's out here for the streets that want to say Anton is on here fucking on something, come on, bring your ass to the front of the congregation so we can address it now. Don't show the fuck up after I'm gone talking about, I think it was my baby. I think Nah, bitch, I got a vasectomy. I ain't the daddy of your child. Don't lie on me. Don't act like I was there when I wasn't. My GPS on my phone is triangulating and it's saying that I'm right here in the fucking studio and you was over there on Schaefer. You know what I'm saying? Let me defend myself right now. Don't come out of the woodwork like y'all did Martin Luther King trying to sully his name. Let me bring your ass to the front of the congregation so we can call you for the streets and address you accordingly, like you Carlee Russell. Don't act like that's my baby. I don't know you. I never knew you. Depart from thee. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure I made that public service announcement. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is coming out the woodwork. Yeah, man, I knew Kevin Samuels. That was my guy. Like my nigga. Kevin Samuels did not know you. You know what I'm saying?
25-year-old was shot and killed in Alney last Thursday.
And it's ironic that you have somebody like the father of Brother Devin, may Allah have mercy on him, who is constantly giving that message to people to put the guns down. That what we're dealing with here is senseless.
Shafiqa Todd is Spady's aunt on his mother's side.
I'm a little nervous of once everything calms down, how she's going to be. But we have a huge support system, and I just pray that in time it'll be easier for her to do. It's going to be a forever loss for her.
During the service, neither his father, Gillie Kid, or his uncle, Wallow, spoke. But this morning, Wallow posted this video to his Instagram, thanking people for the support and committing to continuing to uplift the community.
It's a tragic situation, but I'm going to tell you this. Tomorrow's going to be better than yesterday, and we'll never stop believing that.
Yo, the reality is that, and listen, God bless the family. God bless Gillie. God bless... Rest in peace. God bless Wallow. But the reality is this. The culture is absolutely fucking trash. And we're not going to forget. We're not going to forget what the fuck happened in the first place. That he just got killed in a triple shooting in the hood. Ain't no fucking communities. Ain't no fucking tribes that's really... Listen, it's a strong possibility of all of those people that y'all seen gathered at his funeral. Let me show you something. All these people right here. Of all of these people right here, it is a strong possibility that the killer is right there at the funeral. You know how I know that? Because I've been watching Mindhunters on Netflix. And they say that the killer usually tries to revisit the scene, or they try to go because they get off on a possibility of being in the middle of it, but they're not necessarily going to get caught as a result of it. It is a strong possibility that the guy that knocked him off is right there in the middle of that crowd right there. We're not just going to forget about that. Right? And again, lay that man to rest. God bless him. I hope that everything goes well. But the reality is that the culture is still fucking trash. And it's a strong possibility that when you look in that group of people, it is the killer, the shooter, is probably walking around on the street right then and there in the middle of the crowd. And that's the fucked up part about it. And I said this yesterday when I was talking about the YN Melly case, right? Black people know who the killer are. We know who the thugs are. We know who the killers are. We know who the drug dealers are. If we really wanted to clean up our communities, we could. If we really wanted to clean up our communities, we could. If you really wanted to raise the property values, thank you for the super chats. I'm going to be reading those shortly. If you really wanted to raise the property values in your community, you could. If you wanted to get the thugs off the streets, you would. If you wanted to eliminate the drugs from your community, you could. Most of the time, the person that hits you up is somebody that already know you. We know who the thugs are. Listen, we're so good and we're so smart, but we're so voluntarily ignorant that we know the children that's going to grow up to be the killers and the thugs and the ones that terrorize the community before they even grow up to manifest themselves to be a part of that. We already know the kids. You know if your kid is going to be a fuckboy before he even grow up to be in middle school or high school. You know who your children are. You know if your kid is going to grow up to be a thug. You know if he going to grow up to be an asshole. I do you one better. You also know whether or not you should have stamped out that homosexuality in him before he started to get the milk and cookies. You seen it in him early, and instead of you stamping that shit out and putting him in a space where he can be around some masculine men to teach him to hold frame and what men are supposed to be like, you let that motherfucker get in a dress. You let him get in the dress. You already seen it before he became it, and we sitting here acting like we don't know what the fuck is going on. But instead, you let that nigga get some milk and cookies. You knew he needed his father in his life, but instead you decided to weaponize him against his father, and then his father had to fight years and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in court just to get joint custody and to see him on the fucking weekends. Meanwhile, his dad don't even want him to turn out like that, but because he don't have a strong male presence in his life and he keeps sitting up under his aunties all day, all he know is the milk and cookies. This is why this is the realest fucking morning show on earth. It's because I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. We already know who the killers are. We know who they gonna be. We know who it is that's going to do it. We know where the drug transactions is going to take place. We know what time that they coming to go. You know every single thing about it, but instead you continue to act like you don't know shit, but you will protest for police reform as though they have any kind of say-so of how it is that you're raising a killer. But I'm the bad guy. Here, I'll give you an example. I'll give you the perfect example. So, this funeral took place in the Philadelphia metro area. Rest in peace to Gillie's Kid. All right? And then right after that, there was a shootout in which a woman was shot to death inside of her car right outside of Philadelphia.
More gun violence claims another life. A woman was shot and killed. Shayna.
Oh, Karen, this woman was 32 years old, just sitting in her car. We're told she was sitting in her Honda Civic yesterday in broad daylight when a white SUV pulled up and opened fire. We know at least 15 of those shots were directed right into her windshield. We do know also that this again happened right in broad daylight, right about 6 o'clock.
In broad daylight, at least 15 shots on a woman that's sitting inside of her Honda Civic. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you for supporting the platform. Over 1,800 people in here. Make sure y'all get the likes up. In broad daylight, right after the funeral, in broad daylight, woman sitting inside of her Honda Civic, over 15 shots because they wanted to make sure she was dead. Right inside of her car, 32-year-old woman, out of there. Out of there. The fuck up out of there. Shot to death while she's sitting in her car.
Evening yesterday in Philadelphia's Feltonville neighborhood in the 500 block of East Loudon Street. There was also a playground right around the corner from where it all happened. As I mentioned, the vehicle was hit 15 times, with several of those bullets going right through the windshield. According to Chief Inspector Scott Small, he was able to tell us that investigators recovered 28 spent shell casings.
28 spent shell casings. That was the amount of shell casings that they recovered. We don't know how many shell casings fell back in a car. We don't know what the fuck. They were able to recover at least 28 spent shell casings in broad daylight. No shame, no issues, no problems, no trouble, no chases, no police calls, no nothing. All we know is a 32-year-old woman was sitting in her car, and you know the only way that they're going to get caught is if somebody snitch on them because they get pissed at them. It's the only way that they're going to get caught.
No other cars were hit, so investigators do believe that this was intentional. The car that was hit was also registered to the woman's name. There's a playground, as I mentioned, right across the street where possibly about 100 people were there at the time for a football game. Police say the woman was hit in the chest, the face, and later pronounced dead a short time later.
Shot in the chest, face, multiple times, pronounced dead at the scene. Never even got out of her car. Slumped out. Right on top of the horn. If the horn wasn't going off when she was laying on it because they shot the fuck up out of her, nothing ever would have happened.
So clearly someone fired these 28 shots in a westbound direction, striking the vehicle about 15 times. And several of the bullets went through the front windshield, right on the driver's side. And we believe those bullets are the ones that struck her in the face, the neck, and the chest.
Now, we don't know exactly why she was parked at this location, Karen. According to Chief Inspector Scott Small, they did run the tags. That car is, of course, registered to her, but her last known address is not anywhere near where that shooting took place yesterday. No arrests were immediately reported following the deadly shooting incident, and police also have not shared a description of the shooter or further details about the suspect.
Because they don't know. Because they don't know. Let me tell y'all something. Ladies, I don't want to hear that protect women shit. Stay your ass about the streets. I know that y'all think that it's cute to be out here hanging and chilling out and being in the mix and all of that shit. It's not only bad when it comes to your inability to really be able to find a husband because you trauma bonding and taking all of your past experiences with you. Stay the fuck up out of the streets. Stop dealing with dudes that ain't got your best interest at heart, and then you put yourself in a difficult situation that you're not going to be able to get out of, and that's why you see this woman getting hit up right here in these streets. This is personal. This ain't random. Ain't nobody ran up on her car in broad daylights and let over 28 spent shell casings out on her, shot her in her face, her neck, everything like that. Stay the fuck up out the streets. Stay out the streets. This is not a game. This is real life. This is GTA in real life. Get the fuck out the streets. This ain't for you. It ain't cute. This life is eventually going to catch back up to you. Yes, you did, Katrina. You heard that correctly. It's fucked up out of here. Men dying, women dying. Ain't nobody discriminating about it. If you witnessed anything, then they coming back for you too. Get the fuck up out the streets. Go get you some milk and cookies. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we gon' get into it because I got a full show for y'all today. Shout out to everybody that's supporting the platform. Seminole 2014 with the fireball said, Medium Man is a relatively new content creator. He's found his niche in discussing and breaking down stats in regards to black health, education, etc. Okay, cool. I hope y'all sent this information to me over in my email. I'd be sure to check it out. I want to check out his content in this channel if y'all think that is dope. I take y'all, what y'all say is gospel. Jeremy H says Mbappe is pronounced Mbappe. Mbappe? You can call me whatever the fuck you want to call me for $1 billion in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a price. Some milk and cookies. Centennial G82, my dog, says, my eulogy for brother Anton is the beard. Anton the Beard Daniels is the reason white people know how to dance. YouTube video, he brought people to the altar and slapped them with his sparkling baby powder from How High. Shout out to Centennial G. I'm going to have him speak at my funeral 40 to 50 years from now. Shout out to my dog Centennial G in the building. Fi Brown says, glad I traded the Breakfast Club in for the Millionaire Morning Show. My acronyms in the first super chat. My bad, didn't mean to confuse y'all. Shout out to my dog Fi Brown. I appreciate you, big dog. Fuck the Breakfast Club. Ash says, AD, check out Edward Dowd book, an interview on Cause Unknown. You will be blessed with the truth. Y'all need to send this stuff to me because I'm not going to remember after the Millionaire Morning Show. Ash, send it to me to my address in the description. I'll be sure to check it out and give y'all a review of it. Fahim Jackson is in the building. Shout out to Fahim. Says, love the show last night. Q is a beast, ain't she? Especially when you asked old girl what is her red flag. She almost said, I have none, but caught herself. Facts. I'm glad that you seen that. Otis is in the Harris. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. What movie is that from, y'all? What movie is that from? I know Otis been hearing this entire fucking life. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Women setting men up, they in the streets. Shout out to women setting up and men in the streets in the building. I appreciate y'all. Make sure that y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Carlee. We're going to address the Breakfast Club too. We're going to bring them to the front of the congregation also. Carla Russell apologized through her lawyer. Rita got it. Temptations. Toy winner. Relentless. Somebody said the 5 heartbeats. Nope, it's the Temptations. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Hold on, let me take my shoes off real quick. Hold on. My man Leon walked up to him. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Shout out to David Ruffin. My name is David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations. All right. Let's get back to the show. I don't want to get distracted because you know that it don't take much to throw me off track. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you for everybody that's contributed into the platform. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. The link is in the description for you to do so. Fleece Johnson interview is going up very, very shortly. It's uploading right now. And then make sure you get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Let's get into the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon. I'm Captain Keith Sescaliba with the Hoover Police Department. We're here today to provide an update in the Carlee Russell investigation. Chief Nick Durzis will read a prepared statement that will provide an update in this case. After reading the statement, we will have time for a few questions related to the case. Keep in mind, this is still an ongoing investigation, and there are some questions we simply cannot answer at this point. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Durzis.
Thank you, Captain.
Hey. I know the chief be fresh every day. He said I'm gonna have a purple suit on. That's the last time that he did his thing. Let me see what he got on. Okay, Chief. Hey, Chief got his hair done. He got his beard shaved. He got his suit. His tie is matching. His shirt is white, and he's going to get his moment.
Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone.
Where the chief from? Oakland? Is the chief from Oakland? Is he from Detroit? He probably got some fucking gators on too, don't he?
For attending again today. I want to thank the members of our department and all of law enforcement who played a role in the investigation of this case. Last Wednesday, July 19th, we held a press conference and provided you with the facts of the Carlee Russell disappearance. We told you the investigation was ongoing, and we helped you determine where Carlee was during the 49 hours of her disappearance. Today I have talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell.
I will say this. I know we all was calling for Carlee Russell to come to the front of the congregation and say what it is that she want to say. I will give her this. I will give her this. Of all the things that she did, the one thing that she didn't do is put herself in harm's way, but instead she decided to speak to an attorney. Now, her father and her mother was out here crashing the fuck out. Her boyfriend is out here tweeting and looking dumb as fuck. So all of the people that's around her that's then got the batteries in they back to do the fuck with whatever it is they're doing. But the one thing I will say about her is that she did not jump out here and jump off the fucking cliff. She did not respond to my DM or whoever else's DMs that sent her a DM and said that they wanted to be a part of, have a conversation. She did the one thing that a lot of you motherfuckers have a lot hard time doing, and it's shutting the fuck up. She did the one thing that a lot of y'all, every time the police come and talk to y'all, y'all start spilling your beans and y'all act like y'all don't understand that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. And y'all act like y'all don't know y'all Miranda rights. The one thing, she is not out here over talking. She's not taking questions. She sent a fucking letter through an attorney. That's the one thing that I will give her. I will give her that.
Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf.
See that?
Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement entirely, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023.
Now, I'll give her a second thing. My second thing that I'm going to give her on her behalf is that, unlike Jussie Smollett, eventually she said, you know what? I lied. Got me. Woo. She said, I lied. The second thing I'm going to give her is that she didn't just let the lie continue to proliferate. Even though she let it go too long, she should have never did it in the first place. She still need to pay for the consequences and the fines and the resources that it took from a tax perspective and all of your government officials to investigate this in the first place. But she did come back and say, you know what? Got me. Guilty. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Temptations for life. She came back to the front of the congregation and she said, you know what? You got me.
My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone from the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family.
She need to apologize to every single person that was out there combing the fucking streets, walking through high grass, getting mosquito bites, trying to figure out where she was at while she was over there eating Cheez-Its and granola bars. She needs to apologize to them. Those are the main people that she need to go and bring herself to the front of the congregation for, because I would be pissed. I would be pissed if I was walking around in fucking Alabama on one of the hottest days of the year, searching for her, and she not even missing. She over there eating her milk and cookies. Talking about a white baby.
We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward,
that super chat shortly.
Understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to further discuss this case. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office
not
in
putting the
Bessemer
white baby up.
about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed.
Whoa. Let me back up for a minute. Hold on.
And we will announce those charges. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to discuss this case. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed.
They are not fucking around down there in Alabama. Should we all move down to Alabama and take that bitch over and make it an oasis for us over here at the Bag Chasers? Alabama said, we gonna hold you accountable. We are not gonna be sitting here having no conversation with you about you apologize. We get it. We accept your apology. We forgive you, and you gonna pay the fucking consequences. They are not fucking around in Alabama. They said, we negotiating with the attorney for possible charges. Ooh-wee. He said, I got my pimp suit up, pimps up, hoes down, and we gonna discuss this. They said, we not letting this go. We are not letting this go. Oh my fucking God. Okay, get it, pimps up.
All right, with that, we'll take a few questions. As Officer Hale said, when I call on you, please state your name.
Let me see what he gonna say.
Yes, sir.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610, 100.1 FM Summit Media. Chief, do we at this time, or does the Hoover Police Department know the whereabouts of Carlee Russell during that 49-hour period that she was supposedly missing?
Now, as I said the other day, was talking facts and everything. If I said anything today, would just be speculation. Actual facts, we do not.
All right, so now that we know that Alabama ain't fucking around, all right, Alabama not messing around with you hoes out here. So if y'all gonna be out here finessing dudes, don't do it in Alabama. Go to the other A. Go to Atlanta, not Alabama. Alabama is not messing around. Shout out to Jaquel. Shout out to all of the super chats. I'm gonna be reading those shortly. Alabama not playing no games with y'all. Now that we know that she apologized through her lawyer and that Alabama is not fucking around, ironically enough, the Breakfast Club had some thoughts about this. The Breakfast Club has some thoughts about this. All right. So I want to quickly get their perspective. Let me see if I can speed this up. Cause you know they be trying to disrupt my stream when I stream and replay what was being communicated on the Breakfast Club. So let me see if I can fast forward it a bit. Oh my God, not the hyena herself, Teslin Figueroa. Now, you know they had to bring out the number one hyena in order to be able to discuss this case. Now, let me shoot her some bell and say that I have no clue what it is that she's going to say as a result. So let me just hear it. I'm going to be objective about what's being communicated. I did not know that she was going to be the one that's discussing this thing with DJ Envy and Charlemagne, but I can pretty much guess what the fuck is going to be conversated about right now. How come these people just won't disappear? Why are we sitting here listening to this shit? I thought that she was a political correspondent. Why is she discussing what's going on with Carlee Russell? Oh my God. If it's not the number one hyena, man, this chick probably gonna finesse her way into getting a starting spot and becoming a co-host on the Breakfast Club. Let me see if I can fast forward through this.
Student Carlee Russell, who told police that she was abducted, admitted Monday through a statement from her lawyer that she was not kidnapped. A massive search for Russell began on July 13th after she called 911 and reported seeing a toddler on the side of the road.
Police department and other agencies as
on us for doing absolutely positive. It was effed up what she did. It was effed up that she lied. But, and I hate to compare, but I've seen so many Karens that called the police on us for doing absolutely positively nothing, and nothing happens to them. And we could have got killed. We could have got shot. We could have got stabbed. We could have been choked out in a police chase, and nothing happens to them. So it's difficult to say something should happen to her because we see it.
If it ain't DJ Envy out here simping and pimping on y'all listeners and these women. If it ain't DJ Envy running in the Victim Olympics, can't wait to put his cape on and go against white people, and specifically white women, this don't have nothing to do with white people. What does a woman calling the police on a suspect that then is proven to be innocent have to fucking do with you making up a whole story about seeing a white baby and getting kidnapped and disappearing for 49 hours and then lying to the general public and then being held accountable for your actions? What does this have to do with the price of potatoes in China? The goal is to make sure that we hold everybody accountable, including women, for the decisions that they make on a regular basis. Let me let this play out for a second. I'm going to let this play out. I want to hear some of the stuff that they talk
all
about.
the time.
Well, there's been precedent set. I mean, there was a young woman in California. I can't remember her name right now, but I think she's currently doing 18 months for faking a kidnapping. This was a couple years ago. So, I mean, there's precedents for cases like this.
And I mean, even if we look at the precedents with Jussie Smollett, obviously everybody's comparing that. You see all the memes on Twitter. And just to kind of refresh what happened with him when they found out that was also a hoax, he faced 6 counts of disorderly conduct. He also, for falsifying a police report, literally calling in the 911, that is against the law. So he has.
So Charlemagne comes through in the clutch. And he said, well, there is a precedent that has been set because there was a woman out in California that had to do 18 months, 18 years. And at the end of that sentence, he found out it wasn't his. She gives me money when I'm in need. Yes, she's a trifling. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way over town. She gives me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way over town. Yeah. She gives money when I'm in need. Charlemagne said that there has been a precedent that has been set. So no running in the Victim Olympics. No running in the Victim Olympics. No running in the Victim Olympics.
Several felonies with that. He also had to pay a fine for those resources that were used to investigate that. He ended up having to pay $120,000 for restitution. And so they're definitely, like Charlemagne, I think you had pointed out when we first talked about this story, that we do live in America. And you rest assured, even though it may not be fair to DJ Envy's point, I can certainly see she's going to get.
Why does DJ Envy need a fair point? I don't understand what it has to. What do you mean it might not be fair for DJ Envy point? What does DJ Envy's point emphasize? That we should then let her go and that we shouldn't file charges because there's other women that had got away with it? No. And we're not going to use, and I think that is racist. Let me say that right now. I think it's racist for us to label people a Karen. Because if a white person come through and they say, well, Tyrone, y'all gonna be acting all bitter and uptight and y'all gonna be feeling a certain type of way. So we gonna keep that same energy across the board. We got over 2,100 people in here and climbing. I need y'all to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's continue.
Some type of charge, at least at bare minimum, a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Oh, Sherry Papini, that was her name. She was a California mother who faked her own kidnapping in 2016, and she got sentenced to a year and a half. And she's most definitely white.
Yeah, but what about the white lady that the guy, the black brother was watching the birds in Central Park and she called the police and said that he did a crime? What happened to her? Did she get any time for that, or did that just slide?
I feel like apples and oranges. Am I tripping, Lauren?
I see what point he's trying to get to. I just feel like we know the world we live in. Mm-hmm. Like it's.
What is the world that we live in? I'm curious. What is the world that we live in, and that we're trying to use anecdotal evidence in order to justify the fact that the woman is lied and she needs to be held accountable for her actions. I don't really understand what a disagreement is. What is the problem here? Why can't we take it on an individual basis? Each case is its own precedent, and it needs to be set on an individual basis. If the woman lied, then she needs to be held accountable for her actions. I don't really understand what the problem is here. Why are we then using anecdotal evidence in order to try to justify whether or not we're going to hold somebody accountable? Why is that an issue? Why is that an issue? If she did the crime, then you hold her accountable. What the fuck did this have to do with the price of potatoes in China? She literally admitted that she lied. This is not a case where we're trying to figure out whether or not it's guilty or innocent. Everybody and their mama knew that she was lying. I can't stand people that cape. Why cape? What is the point? Did his wife put him up to it? I don't understand. What is the point of this caping? What is the point of him caping on her behalf, and how does this benefit him in any way, shape, and form?
It's just different for us. So the comparison doesn't even matter because what's going to happen to her is going to happen. We know the world we live in. And it's annoying to see people saying this is going to make people stop caring about black girls that go missing because the care wasn't there in the first place. So this isn't going to change anything.
That's all.
And now they're running in the Victim Olympics. Now, they never cared about us in the first place. Well, if they never cared about you in the first place, then why do we have the whole fucking world stop in order to look for you and search for you when we knew that you was lying in the first place? I don't like this. And this is the argument that I was having last night on the platform. I don't like it. Ladies, I keep telling y'all that you guys are the ones that are going to suffer as a result of all of this dumb shit that we keep having a conversation about. It's not going to be guys because men we've always understood that there is no safety net for us. But you guys are the ones that's going to suffer as a result of keep removing the accountability. The minute that you start to hold her accountable is the minute that you start getting a situation where we then can start taking you serious. But I don't believe any woman. And it's not my fault. It's society's fault. It's Carlee Russell's fault. It's DJ Envy's fault. It's Taz's fault. By default, when a woman says that something happened to her, because I know that women are finessing on a regular basis. I do review videos every day on my other channel when I drop them on there, and I show y'all how women are finessing men. I, by default, do not believe. I had a panel conversation one time where a group of women admitted to the panel openly that women lie and that they finesse, especially when it comes to cheating in relationships, more than men. That they finesse and they get everything that they possibly can out of it. So by default, why should we believe you, or why should we put ourselves at the front of the congregation in order to try to substantiate whether or not you lying or not, if we know that we gonna catch the shrapnel as a result of it? We gonna suffer as a result of it. Why should we? And how does this come back to race? I don't get it.
So it's embarrassing though. I can say that. It's embarrassing.
I can see why you feel that way, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to get caught up in Carlee Russell as an individual. She lied. This we all know. But like you just said, Lauren, the epidemic of missing black women and children in this country is very real. So this story isn't going to stop me from continuing to amplify those other stories. And I still believe it was some kind of social engineering going on with this, because why out of all the stories about missing black women and children, just our luck, the one that's a lie is the one everybody latched on to and amplified?
I think it's...
Want me to tell you why? Because there's a lot of women that's lying out here in these fucking streets. And you just so happen to catch one in the wild. Hey, y'all ever heard of I don't know if y'all ever been hunting before, but I've been hunting before. I went rabbit hunting. Let's go hunt us some rabbits. Let's go get us some rabbits. And I had a shotgun. And it was more difficult than I'd realized it was the first time that I ever did it, because we had to get permission to go over on a specific man's property, and it was cold or whatever, and the conditions wasn't right. And then the next time I went deer hunting. And it seemed like every single time that I ever went deer hunting, right, I've always seen deer crossing the road, but it was really very rare for me to actually see one in the wild that I was able to shoot. But when you finally see one, when you finally catch one, you realize that it wasn't as difficult as you thought it was. You just wasn't familiar with their patterns. So now that we're able to track them more effectively, now that we have the tools, now that we're informed, and now that we have more visibility into what the fuck y'all doing, because y'all don't mind going on the internet and exposing yourselves on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, now it's easier for us to be able to spot the patterns. So now that I've been on YouTube and I'm familiar with a lot of this bullshit that y'all doing, because my inner circle don't operate like this, I was able to immediately pick it up. As soon as I heard the story, I said, oh, this is some bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit. There is no conspiracy theory. Carlee Russell of Alabama was not anybody that anybody was paying attention to so that they can do a setup or conspiracy theory in order to make sure that we no longer believe black women. What the fuck are you talking about? A conspiracy theory with a woman that got kicked out of medical school, was getting fucked on, got mad at a stripper, made up a situation about a white baby, called 911. Nobody else on the highway seen it. Talked about Orange Man with a balding spot that looked like President Trump and an 18-wheeler that was torturing her and feeding her Cheez-Its. And then she get to walk back home, and then her parents jump on NBC Live. Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, we did all of that. We planned that so that we can make sure that we can continue to not believe women. What about all of the men that's getting released out of prison every single day, being proven through the Innocence Project that they didn't commit the crime that they was accused of by the women that accused them, that's not being held accountable, but we still want to talk about advocating. We will advocate for the people that are free that's not being held accountable, but we won't advocate about the men that are locked up in prison every single day that was falsely accused. Are these guys still trying to make up to their woman or their wives for the egregious shit that they did and got caught up in or something like that, and so they on these platforms throwing men under the bus? Is it a collective of men that have a microphone in front of them that is afraid to say, or they're afraid to lose a specific part of the audience, and so they choose to say some of the dumbest, most egregious shit? It is very cut and dry. This is one of those cases. Open, close. The investigators couldn't wait to be able to get their hands on this one. They said, oh, Bob, we got us one here. We got us one here, buddy. If you couldn't tell that this chick was lying from the outset, from the fact that she said that she saw a white baby walking down the street, then you are fucking crazy. You have no situational awareness. You shouldn't even have a microphone in front of you in the first place. Let's see if they got anything else to add into this conversation.
Because of all of the things that surrounded it, like it was kind of like a movie. There's like a kid on the side of the road, and the girl goes missing, and she's on the phone, and you hear a scream. It's like the internet loves that type of stuff.
Yeah, that too. But just bottom line, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I think I mentioned this to you before, Charlamagne. Yeah, it did sound movie-like, but at the end of the day, we have to talk about classism within the black community. And her story got bumped up with a lot of us behind the scenes on the news side. And so when you have a story like her saying, okay, great, a lot of people saw themselves as her. College student, AKA come from a well-to-do family, a middle-class family. That looked like, oh, that could be one of us. Yep. And so when I worked the rape case for the Oklahoma City Halls Call for rape victims, the 13 black women that were raped by a police officer, we did not get that support in the media. So I have to throw that.
No matter what, it always comes back to you, the victim. You lie, you the victim. You the victim, you the victim. You fuck over the tax dollars. Oh, wait a minute. It's still you, the victim. I was still waiting for somebody to say, I'm sure if I'd have continued to play this, that at some point they would have said it's all black men's fault. At some point, they would have said, because it's black man's fault, we need to hold them accountable for her lying. I'm still waiting on somebody, and I'm sure if I would have played it long enough that they would have told me that it was somehow, some way, our fault. She got her Instagram followers up. She never actually said anything. She went through a lawyer. Her parents are the ones that got thrown under the bus. Her boyfriend is out here simping. You got DJ Envy talking about his white women's fault. Charlamagne the God said it's black women that need to be advocated for. Tez on there saying that all of the other victims, because it's a classism thing. And then the other little chick that was over there was saying that we still need to advocate. What the fuck? What about the people that was victims? What about the motherfuckers that got mosquito bites in the woods as a result of searching for this hoe and this mythical baby that never existed in the first place? Let me read some of the super chats and then we're going to continue over with the show. This is dumb as fuck. Straight up. I'm technically, Tim said, nah, it's even worse than GTA AD. No respawn button after the wasted screen. That's a fact. That's a whole fact out here in these buildings. Kingdom Legacy says facts, and F the Breakfast Club, I emailed you. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Cowboy with the 20 ball just came through and dropped that inside of the collection plate. Throwing money at me like I'm a stripper. My dog Jay Ben is in the building, says Chief be spiffy, crispy suits always on deck. Facts. Shout out to my man with the blue suit, had the purple on the other day. Pimping. Marriage Politics and Sports says the Chief is a cool dude. I agree with him. I'd buy him a drink just for catching Carlee up. My dog Jay Ben says Carlee only Googled how to chase Jack down the freeway. She never looked up how to bounce back from hallucinations. She trying to Google magic. Shout out to my dog Jay Ben is in the building. Jeremy Danzy is in the building, says, what up, Anton? Just joined the Bag Chasers. I left a message in your Patreon and I'd like to chat about my graphic design and UX career. Well, you just so happen to be in luck because that is my expertise. UX, UI. Yeah. Shout out to you, Jeremy, and shout out. Let me get a round of applause for all of the new Bag Chasers. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Jacquel is in the building. Says, greetings and blessings. I'm fed up of these soulless acts. God's children need to level up in their walk with God. The fear of men's hearts has multiplied when God is absent. His protection is vamoose. Shout out to you, Jacquel. I appreciate you for continuing to support the platform. Let me get a few more super chats up in here. We're going to continue with the show. Spacer says at least 1 week in jail for each payroll hour spent trying to find her. They brought in a secret service, but nobody cares about black women, right? Facts. We need to be focused on Bronnie James. Fuck that bitch. Kingdom Legacy says, poor boss, baby. Yeah. Executive Suite MLE is in the building, says, of course they had that Banshee Teslin and a honey badger up there running interference for that lion-ass woman. They never want to be held accountable. I agree with you, Executive Suite MLE. You are absolutely positively right. Forsaken Archive says, we use truths to cover our lies. Hashtag the culture is trash, man. Spencer Campbell is in the building. Shout out to Spencer in the building. Just came through and threw that 10 ball into the collection plate. Electrician 480 says, Anton, you and I and other Bag Chasers live here in the city of Detroit, and we know that woman lie, and many men are locked up for life because of those lies. I had to give him all three. I had to give him all three for that one because that was the realest shit that I done heard anybody say thus far. Spacer says, does she get the $60,000 for finding herself? And then also my dog Rashard Howard says, don't worry, Anton. Dr. Umar says will say if her boyfriend ever cheated on her. If her boyfriend ever cheated on her, then this would have never happened. Hit the Cash App. This is your boy, Dr. Umar Johnson, Ifa Tunde, Prince and Pan-Africanism. Prince and Pan-Africanism. Prince and Pan-Africanism. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the Cash App. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're not having any of these Africoons out here diminishing, disastering or making sure that they're unfoundering and unfloundering our black sisters. We gonna bring Suki Hana and we gonna change her behavior. Prince and Pan-Africanism, Prince and Pan-Africanism, Prince and Pan-Africanism. I don't see y'all donating to the ABCDEFGHIJK School of Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass Academy of running in the Victim Olympics out here in these streets. Shout out to Rashad Howard. We appreciate you. We will be reading the next super chats in our Dr. Umar Johnson voice. Harmonic Universe says respect, respect, respect. We say everything 3 times in order to make sure that you get it, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the Cash App. Respect for your $5. Respect to the channel. Also, Q-Bird Rame says, damn, Anton can sing and spit freestyles. Is there anything you can't do? Hashtag bag chasers. Hashtag NYC. We are dropping all Africoons in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean so that all of the ancestors can deal with them appropriately, because we can't sit here and deal with them, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Make sure you get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. And if you have not tapped into the Patreon, link is in the description. I said link is in the description. One more time. Link is in the description. Make sure that you share this with your family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to get over into the next part of the show. If y'all are not sending this to your family and friends and saying that this is the motherfucking best YouTube channel, best show on motherfucking internet or the TV, if you ain't got this on in your church while Anton is saying motherfucking in front of all of your badass kids in there because they cussing when they leave, and grandma ain't about that life either, and she was for the streets, and now she trying to get her life together, and she received the saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost as speaking in other tongues as the Spirit of Lord give utterance. Then you are missing out. All right? In the meantime, I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show because I don't ask for them, but I do appreciate you guys, so I do make sure that I read them throughout the show. We have another person that we have to bring to the front of the congregation before we get into the money. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Breaking news, Miami-Dade Police Director Freddie Ramirez is hospitalized right now in the Tampa area.
He reportedly shot himself along I-75, and we have team coverage on this story at noon. We start with Local 10 News reporter Annalise Garcia live in Tampa with the latest on Freddie Ramirez's condition.
Andrea Alexis, we are learning more about...
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get some Snow Bunny in it. Do we consider women, before we get into the director that was out here trying to off himself because he got into a conversation with his wife, do we consider women that may not be white women but may be of a different descent snow bunnies? What do we consider them? Corn bunnies? Hold the fuck up. Annalise Garcia is out here making it rain. We not just gonna skip over Annalise Garcia out here in the building. Fucking A. Got her hair flowing. Her lips is perched. Her skin and her makeup is looking absolutely sensational. Somebody get me in touch with Annalise Garcia. Ooh, mami, hatacita. Mamacita. I hate myself. I hate myself because this is supposed to be the part of the show where we get serious before we get over into the money, because this is a serious conversation that we got to have. But we're not just going to fucking get away from the fact that Annalisa is in the building. So on top of my game, I'm coming in through the ceiling. Annalisa, let me rewind so I can get the whole story from your ass. Got there sitting perched up. I know that Dr. Ifatunde is going to have this woman take a DNA test so that he can see if she has any Pan-Africanism in her. Because technically, if she has 1% in her blood of Pan-Africanism, then she is not a snow bunny, and she is someone worthy of having a conversation with. Get those other hyenas out of the building and get the fucking black man out of here. I want to hear from Annalisa in Tampa. Yo, on a low though, before we even get into this story, when I landed in the Tampa airport, every fucking woman was looking like her. I don't know what they doing over in Tampa, but all the women look like Annalisa. All of the women in Tampa, when I landed, I was like, what the fuck is going on over here? All of the women in Tampa was looking like Annalisa. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on up in there.
Andrea Alexis, we are learning more about what
And she got her tongue rolling. Andrea.
led to this self-inflicted
Reading Super
gunshot
Chat shortly.
according to sources. The director and his wife were at a conference, at a reception for a conference for sheriffs here in the Tampa area. It was happening at the JW Marriott, and they stepped outside. A passerby says that he saw them arguing. That person also mentions that he saw Ramirez at one point put a gun inside of his mouth. He called police. Police got involved, and nothing came of that.
I'm so distracted, Mike, right now. I'm trying to follow the story, but you're not just going to be putting Annalisa in front of me with all of the good lighting and trying to tell me not to look. Fuck you.
We know of. Soon after that, Ramirez and his wife left the hotel after they were asked.
All right. My ADHD is kicking in. Let me rewind the story one more time so that we can better understand exactly what's happening, because I am very distracted. I'm not even looking at her face. I'm fucking looking at her cleavage. Looking at her cleavage. I can't even understand the story because my eyes are distracted. I'm trying to understand where that microphone is pinned to.
To leave, and that's when sources
All right,
say,
let's start over.
Andrea Alexis, we are learning more about what led to this self-inflicted gunshot wound according to sources. The director and his wife were at a conference, at a reception for a conference for sheriffs here in the Tampa area. It was happening at the JW Marriott, and they stepped outside. A passerby says that he saw them arguing. That person also mentions that he saw Ramirez at one point put a gun inside of his mouth. He called police. Police got involved, and nothing came of that we know of. Soon after that, Ramirez and his wife left the hotel after they were asked to leave. And that's when sources say that along I-75 by an area called Riverview here in the Tampa Bay area, he shot himself in the temple.
Let me ask y'all a question. All right, let's get serious, y'all. Let's get serious. No more joking, because this is a serious subject. Shout out to Annalisa. No, hold on, wait. Let me say something. Before we get serious, we gonna get serious, y'all. Let me pull her up on Instagram, as I knew they was gonna put her Instagram on this bitch. See if I can get an interview. I want her to come on a Millionaire Morning Show. I'm curious as to what her thoughts are. ANALISEWPLG. There she go. And oh snap, she from University of Michigan. I didn't know she was a U of M grad. Hey, this is Anton. Oh, no, that's gonna sound kind of corny. Hey, y'all, tell me what to say on Instagram. Hey, I'd love to show if you're interested. Let me go down this profile real quick, see what she working with. Give me a second. All right. She's been upgrading throughout the years. I'm going to see what she working with. Don't tell me not to send her nothing out for in the middle of the show. I'm going to see who she working with. All right. Now, the question that we have to ask ourselves. All right, let's recover. One more time for the people in the back.
According to sources, the director and his wife were at a conference, at a reception for a conference for sheriffs here in the Tampa area. It was happening at the JW Marriott, and they stepped outside. A passerby says that he saw them arguing. That person also mentions that he saw Ramirez at one point put a gun inside of his mouth.
What would cause a man, when you have, I'm curious, chat, I need y'all help on this. What would cause a man to be so dismayed about something that they having a conversation with? What would cause a man to be so dismayed about something that they having a conversation with to where he would put a fucking gun in his mouth? To where he's thinking about putting a pistol. This man is the police director in Miami-Dade County. He has a solid head of hair. He got all of his stripes on his collar. What would cause a man to be so dismayed at something that's happening in his life to where he would put a pistol in his fucking mouth? I can't think of anything. It got to be his wife cheated. Y'all saying his wife got Adam 22'd. It's a possibility that his wife took the whole load. She probably said that he cheated on him. Alimony and child support. The only thing that I can think of is that a man was so immersed in the life that he was living with his wife, and he was so absolutely, positively broken up about what was going on in his life that he had to do something drastic. Or she was just, is it possible that a woman can drive a man so crazy to where he would off him? He put a gun in his mouth. Think about it. Let's play this out. He going back and forth at a conference. He put a gun in his mouth. And then
he called police. Police got involved and nothing.
And then he called the police. He called the police. After he put a gun in his mouth. Either you being exposed on something or your chick is out here doing something that she's not supposed to do and you just all out of your mind. You got your girl in the car with you while you doing all of this shit. He called the police.
Nothing came of that we know of. Soon after that, Ramirez and his wife left the hotel after they were asked to leave. And that's when.
So they got into an argument, and it was so disruptive that the hotel staff asked them to leave. The hotel said, listen, you can't be up here fucking up the money in front of the business. We don't want to be going viral for this dumb stuff. Y'all got to go. He called the police. They left. After he put a gun in his mouth, hotel asked him to leave.
Sources say that along I-75 by an area called Riverview here in the Tampa Bay area, he shot himself in the temple.
Then he took the pistol. And then he took himself out. What on earth would cause a man to ever put himself in a position to where he's ready to take his own life in front of his wife?
We have learned that he underwent surgery. He's out now. He's in critical.
And he didn't even kill himself. He made a mistake and lived. You put it to your temple and you survived, and you still got to live with the consequences of blowing your fucking brains out. They fixed you. You getting reported on, and whatever it is that you went through, you still got to live through it. That's a fucking L if I've never seen one before. If that ain't the biggest L that I've ever seen in my entire life, that's one of the biggest L's that I've ever heard of in my entire life.
But stable condition.
A devastating incident involving Miami-Dade Police Director Alfredo Freddy Ramirez left the South Florida law enforcement community in disbelief Monday morning. Multiple sources tell Local 10 he shot himself in the car while along I-75 near the Tampa area. We also know his wife was with him at the time. Rumors are circulating on what led to this shocking incident. Miami-Dade Police tells us Ramirez underwent surgery and he is now in serious but stable condition. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Florida Highway Patrol are investigating. The two agencies say FDLE agents and FHP troopers were on scene and will continue conducting investigative interviews Monday.
I'm in, running to serve as your next sheriff.
Ramirez recently announced he would be running for sheriff in 2024. The director was in the Tampa area for the...
Not anymore. Not anymore. Somebody's saying by the grace of God, he's still alive. Clearly, he didn't want to be here. Whatever it is that he was seeing, and I'm wondering why they was at the hotel at a space in a city that they lived in. Who was at the hotel? Who was at the hotel? Because the fact that he's a public figure probably factored into his disposition or his state of duress in which he wound up doing that thing that he did in the first place. Yo, this is crazy. Women are the only thing, now I'm not going to say the only thing, but one of the only things that would make a man off himself. An unstable man that don't truly know himself, put himself in a position where he has to deal with a woman in a certain capacity or something happens, and that's one of the only things that I've ever heard of a man offing himself.
Sheriff's Summer Conference happening at the JW Marriott on
Okay, so it was a sheriff's summer conference. A sheriff's summer conference was at the hotel.
Street. Sunday evening was the first night of the 4-day event. Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, who is currently at the Tampa General Hospital, released a statement that reads in part, "Our hearts are with Chief of Public Safety Freddy Ramirez and his family during this difficult time. All that matters right now is his well-being, and we continue to pray for his speedy recovery."
Now, FDLE and FHP say that...
I'm going to send a follow-up message. This is 100% professional. I know that the name of the show is called Simping. This is 100% professional. I just want to make sure that I sent the right message. Okay. This is a business chat. Okay, very interesting. All right, got it. Just want to make sure that I followed up and that I was sending a professional thing to her because I'm curious to find out exactly what her thoughts are on this case. All right, let's continue.
No one else was injured during the incident. They also say that their investigation remains active. As for Miami-Dade Police, they are asking for everyone to continue to keep Ramirez and his family in your prayers. We'll keep you updated. I'm live.
So we're going to keep an eye on it. Y'all don't really think that I actually sent anything, do y'all? I don't really think that I sent. This is all just for y'all. This is all the act for y'all. If anybody lied and said that I sent it, they lying. They lying. I never sent anything. I don't get caught up over these chicks like y'all. That's y'all that's weak for the chicks. And do y'all really think that she dressed like that on purpose? Come on, man. Y'all got to know that these women is tricking y'all. You don't think that Anton is not smart enough to get finessed, do y'all? Y'all don't think that Anton is not smart enough to not getting finessed? Come on, I'm Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Let's be for real here. I am the king. I am the king of the morning shows, and I put on the greatest morning show in the world. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue with the show. because I got to hold my drivers, my truck drivers accountable. All right. Let's see what we got here. Dame Dash is in the building, says Umar said she identifies as black. She identifies as black. Shout out to my dog Dame Dash in the building. Technically, Tim says, so what you saying is Tampa is a spot for the next Patreon meetup. Tampa is gorgeous. Tampa is absolutely gorgeous. Cause if the mamacita etorita looking like that over there, flights are being booked immediately. Tampa is the spot. Tampa is absolutely the spot. So thank you, my friend. I'm technically Tim is in the building. Cliff Williams says his wife told him he got Adam 22. You think that will make a man off himself? You think that will make a man off himself? I don't think that will make a man off himself. Donnie, oh my fucking... Ybor City is popping, Derek. Donnie said, don't know how true this is. She was in an ATL partners partying this past weekend. Then her family gave her a cookout for her birthday. Interesting, Donnie. Are you talking about Carlee or are you talking about the wife of the director, the police director? Again, let me give a shout out to Donnie for the 50 ball. I appreciate you. Thank you, Donnie, for holding me down. Spacer says, careful, Anton. Annalise has the word lies in it. Talk to him. Listen, no matter what it is that they look like, make sure that y'all keep framed. Do not be out here fucking up the bag and fumbling the bag. Anton from AntonDaniels.com would never fumble the bag. For real, for real. Anthony, I appreciate you. And Anthony M says, appreciate you for the advice you give. Hope you have a phenomenal day. And right back at you. And right back at you, my friend. Shout out to you, Anthony M. Let me read one more super chat. My dog, Centennial G, is in the building. Shout out to Centennial G. Centennial G says, as I close today's service, the parting view of the great AD will occur. Hyenas not allowed. And as we pass seeing this great king, AD opens his eyes and says, fuck your feelings. Facts. Somebody said, Jon Snow says, why do people send money? Because they appreciate the entertainment and the game that we give and they contribute to the platform. We don't ask for super chats. We just acknowledge the people. Stop being a hater. Stop being jealous. I got the greatest fucking morning show on earth. You should appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Also, get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. You make sure you tap into the Patreon by all means necessary. Truck drivers. The prediction is that not only is it a bloodbath happening out here in these streets, but the bloodbath is going to continue to runneth over. Truck drivers, my people that's out here, I don't want you to crash. I don't want you to pick up your phone. Don't be sitting here talking about Anton got me distracted and now I'm driving a truck and now I'm running over people. No, I didn't. All right? I love my drivers. I know it's a lot of y'all that's tapped into me. I know it's a lot of y'all that send my show over to your friends to make sure that y'all over here and tapping in because I help y'all get through y'all day. My truck drivers, all of my people that's at work, all of my ladies that's at home, so on and so forth. But the one thing is for sure and two things is for certain is that Anton did not tell you to pick up your phone while you are driving. That is of your 100% own decision to do so. Shout out to Jay the Shooter. I'm going to be looking at that super chat shortly. But I heard that it's a bloodbath out in these streets. So much so to where when I did that last review about the women truck drivers and how they suffering out here in these streets, I had so many women truck drivers reach out to me and said, Anton, it is hard out here in these streets. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. Ain't that how ain't that how Taraji P. Henson was singing it? You know it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. When the gas in the gas you're trying to get the money for the rent. Hold on, I might have to pull that up. Give me a second. Give me a second. I got to pull that up. You know it's hard out here for a pimp. What a Taraji P. Henson part. Come on, man. Sing it, man. Sing that shit. Put it about you, man. I need you to dig deep, man, and pull that shit up out of you, man. Come on, get that shit for daddy, man. Hold on, here it is. Hold on. I got it. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get that money for the rent. When the gas money spent. Pull that shit up out of you, man. Oh, come on, man. Give it to me. Hold on. I might be able to get it. Find that shit, man. Find that. Boom, 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 boom. Whoop that trick. Get him. There we go. Hold on. Before we get into our truck drivers, just give me a second. Get him. When he tryna get this money, you know it's hard. Where's the part where she's singing it? I want to see the part where she's singing it. I don't want to see this shit. I want to see the part where she's singing it. I want to see the part where she was trying to get that shit up out of her. Find that shit, man. Make sure that you find that shit, man. Damn, I can't even find it. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. When the bill and the gas money spent. Here we go. All right. I got y'all. I didn't forget about y'all. Hold on. Let's see if we can find that shit, man. Find that shit, man. Pimp. Push that shit out. Man. Feel that shit. Feel it. Pimp. For the rent. The Cadillac. Go ahead and push that shit out, man. Hold on. Push that shit out, man. Come on. Push that shit out, man. Here for a pimp. You know it's hard out here for a pimp. Oh my God. Push that shit out, man. Push that shit out, man. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Y'all can't hear it. I'm trying to preserve the stream, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out for y'all. Y'all want me to play it? All right. Push that shit out, man. I'm trying to preserve the stream, but all right. Y'all want me to push this shit out.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he's trying to get this money for the rent. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit.
Push that shit out. Push that shit out, man. Push that shit out, man.
Come on.
Come on, man. Push that shit out, man.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
For a pimp. You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
When he tryna get this money for the rent.
Yeah, man.
For the Cadillacs and gas money spent.
You ain't know, name.
There's a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here
for a pimp.
When he tryna get this money for the rent.
Oh, push that shit out, man. All right, push that shit out, man. I need you. Hey, find that shit. Find that shit, man. We ain't got time for that. We don't have time for that. We have to get back to the money. We got to get back to the money, y'all. I can't stand the fact that y'all keep making me distracted. This is y'all fault. Because I've watched so many different movies throughout my life. And I'm familiar with so many different things that we got to push that shit out, man. All right? So anyways, let's get back to the show.
Demand for truck drivers accelerated during the worst of the pandemic, fueled by the boom in online shopping and people looking for a steady paycheck. But now some of those same drivers are struggling to find work. Let's bring in Todd Spencer, president of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. Todd, thank you so much for your time. I was reading an article about this. Saw that there are now truckers who are struggling, to have the same amount of paychecks to find jobs.
Messy, that is not true. I have a very long attention span, but I just get slightly distracted.
Again, all throughout COVID, I myself did stories on the trucker shortage. So how did this situation shift that quickly? Is there a surplus of drivers at this point?
Well, when you talk about driver shortage, that's one of those topics, mythical topics that we've heard about for 3 decades. And it's basically perpetuated by those companies that their real core issue is there are plenty of drivers, they just can't keep them. And
what they are saying is that at the height of the pandemic, they had a shortage of 80,000 drivers. 80,000 drivers was allegedly the shortage that was a part of what was going on with the truck drivers in 2021. 2020, 2021. And so what happened was, what happened was they recruited a whole lot of truck drivers. Now, one of the ways it's easy to be able to get a bunch of people to sign up for something, you know how? Make a YouTube video. Do a TikTok short. Go and create a reel for Instagram. There were so many people. I'm telling you, I could not open up any application for years without seeing somebody kept telling you how you was going to get rich as a result of going to buy a box truck, becoming a truck driver. Meanwhile, I was coaching people to help them to understand that all of this stuff that y'all was doing, that y'all was making money for temporarily, was that it was going to come, a correction was going to come eventually. A correction was going to come eventually. And when all the getting was good and you had logistic problems, and I was doing the Millionaire Morning Show and we was doing what it is that we was doing, in every industry, when you have an explosion of something, there's always going to be a correction. That's why I'm very leery when I see everybody jump in with the FOMO. You know what FOMO is? FOMO is fear of missing out. It's called fear of missing out. And so when I see everybody running into something in particular, I usually pivot away from it. When I seen everybody going out and buying homes during the pandemic, I stopped. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all have been with me for the last 3-4 years. Some of y'all have been with me for the last 3-4 years. well, this channel hasn't been open for 4 years, but let's just say 3 years almost. And I was having conversations and I said, listen, I'm not buying anything whatsoever. I'm not buying any real estate, any homes, because people were so desperate to get into homes that they were willing to pay $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 over asking price. No home inspection, more home than they can afford. You know why? Because the interest rates were low. And so now they find themselves in a situation where foreclosures are imminent. You know what else that they started to sell a lot of? You know where a lot of what else was going on? Semiconductor chip shortages. As a result, everybody was sitting at home. People was getting stimulus checks. And so everybody started buying cars that they couldn't even fucking drive. And they were charging an egregious amount over asking price because, ta-da, it was a shortage of cars. And eventually there's going to be a correction. Now what we see happening right now, there's a ton of repossessions and the used car market is cratering, right? I took advantage of it. Used car market, I actually dropped a video inside of the Patreon of how I leveraged CarMax in order to make a bunch of money off of the car that I was turning in, because instead of turning in a lease, I wound up buying a car and then I sold it back to CarMax. That's a whole nother conversation. I dropped that video inside of the Patreon. Rita was on the cover of that video. And now what you have is prices are starting to drop and crater tremendously, even for new cars, because the used car market is being flooded and it's a bunch of repossessions. And so now what you see happening right now is the same thing that's happening with truck drivers. They flooded the market because they used marketing and everybody thought that they was going to get rich as a result of becoming a truck driver. I was telling my people that was truck drivers, hey, y'all need to pivot. Make sure that you have something on the back end. Make sure that you get into another industry. Make sure that you study, go back to community college, get you a certificate, go and take a boot camp. Whatever it is that you need to do, you need to make sure that you protect yourself. And people were saying, Anton, I want you to buy a truck. I want you to get into the business. It was Carvana. It wasn't CarMax. It was Carvana. You're right. Shout out to B. Burns. They said, Anton, why don't you buy a truck and get into the business and we can put somebody in it? I said, nope. It's not a sustainable industry. It's going to be hard to be able to recruit drivers to continue to stay in those trucks. Prices are going to start cratering. Everybody is trying to buy a truck right now. I see the trend that's happening on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. You know what I did instead? I bought a bunch of land. Now I'm building on that land when lumber prices continue to go down, because there's workers and there's a bevy of different work that goes along with it, which is one of the reasons I'm going to do the live stream, in order to tell y'all exactly how much it's costing me in order to build this house so far. Let's continue.
Happened in trucking because of COVID and because of CARES Act. Suddenly our economy was, in essence, given steroids, and people had money to spend, and they spent it buying lots and lots and lots of things, and almost everything in our country is delivered by trucks, and created record demand, big time record demand. And now, as those COVID dollars are dissipating, the demand is no longer there. And suddenly, where we saw trucking companies increase by 50% because of COVID, now the weaning out process is going on, and it's certainly going to be painful for many.
All right, Chad, I have a quick question for you. How long have you been in the trucking industry?
I bought my first truck in 1976.
All right, 1976. So basically almost 50 years, coming up on 50 years here.
Yes,
I like to say,
our organization is celebrating its 50th year in operation right now.
Wow, well, congrats to you.
Truckers.
I ask you that, Todd, because it certainly sounds like you know what you're talking about. So almost 50 years in this industry. What is the remedy here? Because you say there are plenty of drivers. The problem is retaining those drivers is the only option for these truckers who are trying to stick it out, but just are not making the same when it comes to those paychecks. Is their only option just to find different jobs?
The economics in trucking have always been brutal. It's an industry that goes from boom to bust. A lot of the reason for that is because there are virtually no requirements to start a trucking company. As I mentioned, there were 120,000 new ones created because of COVID. And basically all you need to do to start a trucking company is have $300 and fill out some forms with the FMCSA. Now, this is supposed to be the top safety agency for commercial vehicle truckers. You fill out that form. It doesn't ask you about safety. It doesn't ask you about ethics.
So basically what he's saying is that the barrier to entry the barrier to entry is too low. And so when you have too much access, when things start to get really good, everybody run into it because it's so easy for you to get into it, right? Which means that the crash is going to be tremendous. And so I don't think that every trucker is suffering. I think that those that have been in the industry for an extended period of time, or those that really understand it, or those that work it effectively, will be okay. They understand that it's going to be ebbs and flows. It's going to be ups and downs. It's just like the real estate industry. When things are good, it's going to be really good. And then when things get bad, it's going to wash out all of the people that thought that they knew what they was doing. It's the same thing when it comes to cryptocurrency. It's the same thing when it comes to the stock market. It's the same thing when it comes to y'all getting these jobs. When it's good, it's going to be really good. Everybody not going to be able to miss. But when it goes bad, when it goes bust, you're going to see who's really worth their salt. And so there's a market correction that is happening within the trucking industry right now. And most people do not know what they're going to do in order to survive it. And the ones that are being impacted the most are the same people that was impacted the most when it came to layoffs during the pandemic. Guess who they were? Women. It was women. Because women truly aren't able to sustain through the boom and bust cycles. In a lot of instances, they just not built for it. They're genuinely not built for it. And this is not a knock on women. This is that you gonna have to be out there competing with a person that's just like me, except for they gonna be the trucking version of me. And they're gonna understand the game. They're gonna understand how to make the most money out of it, right? They've maximized the revenue that they making, and they limited the expenses, and they know exactly what to do, and they bought the right type of truck and all of this other type of stuff, right? And you're gonna have to compete with a nigga like me. And now women are getting their cars repossessed. I just did an article on that, a week ago? When they was making $20,000 a month extra on top of whatever their expenses were, now they only making $3,000, maybe $2,000, maybe, and then they got $2,500 in rent. They went and bought a new crib. It's going to be hard. Every single industry goes through ups and downs, and right now, for truckers, it's your motherfucking turn. I love my truckers. I love the fact that they tuned into me every single day. But it's going to be some gnashing of the teeth, and you can make money, but instead of y'all educating yourself on exactly what it takes in order to get into a specific industry, you jump into it because somebody on TikTok told you that it was lucrative. Be careful. Be very, very careful, because there's a lot of truckers that are washing out and they can't survive. And they getting their trucks repossessed, they fucking up the money, and they can't compete. All right? Let me read one more super chat and then we're going to get up out of here today. Jay the Shooter, pew, pew, is in the building, says, love the channel. I'm pulling up in Detroit next week. Detroit is awesome. You're going to absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. You're going to absolutely adore it. 100% adore it. You're going to 100% adore it. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all of my truckers. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel. Make sure that you hit the Patreon. The Bag Chasers link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into that Teach Henley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. This is the best morning show on earth. The best morning show on earth. And then Q is doing the fucking thing on Monday nights. I got a new video. Well, actually, I dropped a video for y'all in the Patreon today. In addition to that, there's some, Natasha just dropped that inside of the chat. She said it's a trucking group inside of the Discord. The Discord is attached to any of the most recent videos. The link is in any of the most recent videos. We got a new meetup that's coming soon. I got the Felice Johnson video that's dropping, and then we got the live stream that's going inside of the Patreon. That's going to be announced today also. All right? I love you guys. I appreciate you. You know, we do the same thing every single morning, every weekday. We going to get it in. So I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here today. And y'all already know what that is. I don't even know why we fucking playing. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are the best ever. The greatest audience ever. Stay focused. Stay on top of things. Keep your peace. Don't get distracted by anything. Let's continue to run this shit up. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.